It's where all great deer hunts begin in the Texas Hill Country.
The chicken fried steak is good. It just really depends on how hungry you are. Hi, Kim.
I was dead set on coming no matter what I've got going on. I'm going to put it aside and I'm going to do something and go back to my roots because it's been a long time since I went hunting.
Thank you.
Halloween comes the night before opening morning of deer season in Texas.
I have a burger with french fries.
In show of support, Terry Johnson and his wife Paula are hosting two decorated American heroes, each with incredible stories.
Thank you.
Kim Munley and Christina Contreras will feature Christina's hunt on the next edition of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes. But on this edition, we'll hear about an experience, had it not been documented, dissected, and decorated, would be almost completely unbelievable. Here in Menard, Texas, and across America, everyone knows Kim's story, but maybe not her face. Out of uniform and out of the national spotlight, she's just another deer hunter in the Side Oaks Diner by the side of the road.
Took that meaning. I had no female cousins or girls in the family, girls around the block, so I just followed and thought everything was cool that my brother and my father did. And shooting guns was liberating at a very young age.
We're going to be giving these ladies some gear that they can use on this hunt. And we're going to start off with the backpacks and work our way up to the rifle. This is a special weekend because we got two ladies hunting our own place.
We were sitting on the couches and just socializing, and then Terry comes out with a camo paint book bag and gives us each one. And we're like, oh my goodness, this is nice.
I was wishing you had this at the restaurant. But you'll have a warm jacket.
Oh my gosh.
And then here is the most fun part.
Oh. Is that why this is 25-06?
That's why.
Oh my gosh. I can recognize a gun case a mile away, and I'm, okay, well, these are the weapons we're going to use for tomorrow. Oh no, they're the weapons that we're going to actually take home. So I was like, we could actually use the weapon to hunt and take it all the way back home. And I've never shot a 25-06. So it's a new weapon system for me, and after shooting it was amazing. Thank you. You're our Santa Claus and The first thing I felt was I'm gonna break this baby in real quick. It's not gonna go home unshot.
Sheriff's Department in Midland sighted these in.
Already?
Yes, they're at 100 yards. They're hitting about like that, and that's about what we're shooting out here is about 100 yards. So you put it on him, he's dead. You got him. So.
Okay.
Kim Munley. No one can imagine how many lives she saved that day in November 2009 when she put a bullet in an Islamic idiot who opened fire at Fort Hood, Texas.
He stepped around the corner and we just started blindly firing at each other from 6 to 8 feet away.
Her story as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, we will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Character, commitment, leadership. It's a way of life for those who've worn the uniform. At Pioneer Natural Resources, we welcome those qualities. Veterans are a great fit at Pioneer, a company that values family, character, and a job well done.
One of the differences about Pioneer is it's a company that wants to hire veterans and wants to show support for the service that they've done for our country.
Contact Pioneer Natural Resources today.
It was pretty cold. The temperature dropped quite a bit. I'm having flashbacks from 20 years ago hunting, because that was my favorite thing to do, was hunt before dawn.
A cold front lowers the temperature 30 degrees on opening morning of whitetail season here in the Texas Hill Country. Terry Johnson is guiding Army veteran Kim Munley, who came here to the Lonesome Dove Ranch all the way from her home in North Carolina. As darkness yields to the passing hours, only does and fawns make an appearance in the opening among the cedars and mesquite trees.
In my heart, I always wanted to serve in the military. Serving in the military is a brotherhood that sticks with you forever.
Kim served her time in the military, then left to pursue her first love, law enforcement. At all of 5 foot 2 inches tall, Kim became a federal police officer stationed at Fort Hood, Texas.
Yeah, I'm 5'2". I might be small frame, but I don't quit, and nothing scares me.
Things were going well for Kim Munley. She proved she had all it takes to make the SWAT team. And then the ultimate test came on the morning of November 5th, 2009.
It all started out normal. I went to go wash my patrol car, and as I'm literally washing it, we get the call, shots fired at SRP site, which is the Soldier Reprocessing Center. So I was only about 2 miles away, responded as normal, lights and siren. I could see soldiers just running everywhere, hundreds of soldiers running everywhere. And so I pull up and I just take the directions of the soldiers jumping up and down, not knowing the whole time that my Bravo 1-2, Mark Todd, Sergeant Todd, was right behind me. And then I hear Sergeant Todd say, "Drop your weapon, drop your weapon." and I see a red flash laser go across my eyes, and I knew it was him. So he continued to fire, and he had not hit neither one of us. Major Nidal Hasan, a Muslim extremist. There's soldiers running between us. Before I even pulled the first round, I saw he was still trying to shoot people that was trying to get out of the building that he originally started shooting in. And he was also shooting soldiers behind me, hiding around cars, under cars. Immediately, he picked out my position. Then suddenly I get popped in the hand with one of the rounds. And my head is directly behind my hand in this prone position, and I was worried about getting shot in the head. So I ducked back around, left my weapon and my hand out there, and then when I saw, or I heard just a little bit of a lull in his shooting, which was very rapid, I peeked back around the corner, and he was closing the distance on me quick. He stepped around the corner, and we just started blindly firing at each other from 6 to 8 feet away. 2 of those rounds did hit me. I continued to fire on him, but the next round that hit me was in my thigh, and it had severed my femoral, but it didn't take me down. But instantly after that, next shot took out my knee and blasted into 120 pieces, so I hit the ground pretty hard. And when I did, my weapon malfunctioned from hitting the concrete so hard. When I hit the ground, he walks up to me. I still continuing to try to fire, and my weapon's not firing. But he walks up to me and puts his right above my head to do his final shot and pulls the trigger, and nothing happens. Right before he pulled the trigger, I looked up, and I said, "All right, I'm ready. Let's do this." It's what I took the oath for. It's what I wear a badge for.
Lying on the ground, staring into the eyes of the Islamic idiot trying to kill her, Kim could only think of one thing: her 2 little girls.
I can tell the story a million times. It doesn't bother me. However, when you bring up certain memories of what, the last things that flash through your head before, you know that it's probably the last moments of your life, was my daughter's. And however ready I was not ready for the fact, just thinking, they're gonna be raised without their mother, and it's gonna mess them up psychologically, mentally. They're gonna be ruined for life. And I'm sure it's the same thoughts of the many, victims that did not make it that had children as well.
Three gunshot wound, 1 to the femoral artery. Kim's survival is highly unlikely. Only thing is, her struggle has only just begun as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues.
It's a well-known fact the people of West Texas know the importance of hard work, determination, and drive. For years, TCO Field Services has been a part of the expanding petroleum industry. Another well-known fact is the admiration West Texans have for America's troops. Plain and simple, military heroes don't have a better friend than the hard-working folks in West Texas. At TCO, we never lose sight of the job done by our military, keeping us safe here in West Texas.
I've only rattled maybe twice in my life. And again, I just follow his lead, but he said they'd come pretty close to you.
Terry Johnson started something called Show of Support Hunt for Heroes more than a decade ago. It's now a nonprofit organization that's grown immensely, but never strayed from its mission to simply say thank you to American heroes fighting the war against Islamic idiots. Kim Munley carries the scars of 3 gunshot wounds suffered on American soil. On November 5th, 2009, the deranged work of an idiot named Nidal Hasan. With the coward lying a few feet away with a severed spine, Kim struggled to find anything to stop her own bleeding.
Ironically, the whole time I was laying there, Hasan was less than 20 feet away from me. And the whole time I thought he was dead. But he wasn't. He had been shot 4 times total and ended up being on life support for 2 weeks, but made it through. But I finally make it to the hospital.
After numerous surgeries and physical therapy, Kim is back on her feet.
How it felt when he clashed the antlers together, it's just, again, it kind of flashbacks to seeing, 2 bucks fighting and loudness. You just wait and you know they're gonna just pop up. The first thing I see, I turn my head and suddenly there's a white fallow there, just being curious, very close to us. And my experience in the past is generally they'll see what you are or smell you and go on about their way, but this one was very curious and got closer and closer.
Both Terry and Kim are spellbound by the young white fallow buck, who's letting curiosity close the distance. It's moments like this Kim lives for, especially since the gut punch she received from the Obama administration following the Fort Hood terrorist attack that left 14 people dead and 32 more injured.
They kept telling us that, Fort Hood is going to be taken care of and the victims are going to be taken care of and so forth. And after about a year is when we started realizing that, no, they're not. They still haven't, gotten the benefits that they deserve.
Kim's act of heroism has been celebrated and retold many times across the nation. The story of her brave conduct even landed her a seat beside the First Lady at the President's State of the Union address while she was still recovering. Little did Kim realize at the time she was being used by the Obama administration.
I believe about a year and a half after the shooting is when they designated as a workplace violence incident. And that's what pretty much just floored all of us. And so we relived this. We all know it was an act of terrorism. So I started speaking out very verbally against the classification, very verbally against the Department of Justice, against the Department of Defense, against the President of the United States, against the Secretary of the Army. And to this day, I'm vocal. I've started a foundation for the victims, and I do several, media appearances on their behalf. And I'll always be their voice until the day comes that they either get their Purple Hearts that they deserve, or they reclassify it to an act of terrorism. I'm the only civilian still living that was a victim that can be the voice and speak out and tell the truth about what happened.
Kim Munley, in some ways, has become the face and the voice for the victims and survivors of the Fort Hood massacre. So many survivors, without the act of terrorism designation, had to pay their own medical care, leaving many financially devastated, all because of a president who wants to leave office saying no act of terrorism ever occurred on American soil during his time in office. It's a slap in the face to every person who wears a uniform of the American military.
Speaking for all the victims, there's not much respect left for him. And there never will be until he makes this right. There's a lot of things that he could have done that he said he was going to do and he didn't do. If the victims could meet with them when the president came to Texas, but he didn't have time, he had a fundraiser to go to. The one thing I cannot stand to be asked or told is, why didn't you just aim a little higher? Or why didn't you put a bullet in his head? I did what I was trained to do. And the outcome of that is not under my control, and it's under a higher power's control. I'm glad that he made it through and that he's in the condition that he's in, because he would have considered himself a martyr. And in his world and his religion, which was what he wanted, because he had another weapon on him to finish himself off and self-inflict. But we got to him too quick, so we beat him to the punch.
Character, commitment, leadership, it's a way of life for those who've worn the uniform. At Pioneer Natural Resources, we welcome those qualities.
These are guys that want to go to work, and Pioneer appreciates that.
Veterans are a great fit at Pioneer, a company that values family, character, and a job well done.
You've got guys who come out here every day and want to work hard.
Contact Pioneer Natural Resources today.
Smith Industries is a huge manufacturer of oil field storage tanks and heater treaters. With a massive inventory and a fleet of 8 knuckle boom crane trucks, Smith Industries can produce, deliver, and set quickly and safely. When the oil field needs tanks, Smith Industries is there. Smith Industries, Midland, Texas.
Military heroes don't have a better friend than the hardworking folks in West Texas. At TCO, we never lose sight of the job done by our military.
I'm a very patient person. When the time's right, I knew, and if not, just the experience of it is amazing. Added bonus that, if you actually do get to put one down.
A heavy rain is in the forecast, which means this afternoon hunt will probably be Terry and Kim's last chance at a Texas hill country whitetail buck. After a morning of staring at does and fawns, then watching a yearling fallow come to horns, Kim's ready to get her first look at a whitetail buck.
Sure enough, a few minutes later, we seen a humongous rack come walking out. The one thing I'll never forget in my ear with Terry being to the left of me is he's a good one. He starts to kind of walk a little bit again, so I pick up my weapon. And then here come another one. There's an 8-point, nice rack, beautiful deer walk out. And then I hear Terry say, there, here comes another one. And it's a much smaller young buck that came out. I knew I had to be patient and not spook them. This is my chance, one chance in a lifetime, and I'll never live it down. But at the same time, I didn't want to be too rapid, wanting to, you know, try to shoot them, because it has to be a perfect shot. Every time I had a good shot, I couldn't take it. And this went on for 7 minutes straight. I'm a advanced firearm instructor with 2 spec ops. I know how to control my heart rate. I know how to control my breathing when it comes to shooting. But finally, those last 2 minutes, I start kind of having a little bit of anxiety that he's going to bolt off somewhere. I even took a breath.
He's going down. Oh, you did it. You did it. You see?
Yep. They all kind of ran in a semicircle, and then he dropped. And as soon as he dropped, I was like, phew. Because I might as well not come back home if I'd missed that deer. We walked out. It was just the best feeling in the world. We stepped out, and it was perfect sunset, beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. You know that big buck is sitting over there. You want to see him real quick, but you know, you take it all in. You take a deep breath, and you know, you just kind of, this is it. This is what it's like.
That's a hoss now.
Oh my God.
He did good.
It's beautiful.
Get over here and grab his antlers. He's yours.
My first thought is, I got to take pictures, get back to the house, and send them to my dad and my brother. I got bragging rights now. I got the biggest deer in the family. I don't show a lot of excitement, but deep inside and inside, I'm jumping up and down like a little schoolgirl. I ain't gonna lie. Still am.
Her world turned upside down at a place called Fort Hood on a November morning in 2009. Kim Munley may recover from her gunshot wounds that day, but she'll never stop speaking up for the victims and survivors. For Kim, it's the least she can do after getting a second chance at life.
That little bit of slow motion time where he's standing over me and about to put another bullet in my head, that's when I knew, okay, this is it. But luckily, you know, it wasn't my time. There was a higher power saying, nope, I don't want you right now. You know, you got other things to do. You got a longer life to live, and you got 2 babies to raise.